Today's story is about a girl and her aspirational wonderland. What is a wonderland? Is it a fantasy world that exists in fairy tales or something else? Is imagination really equipped with such special power that it can convert a stone into God? Does our imagination have such power to make a wonderland truly come alive on earth? Let's hear a true story of one such little girl and her wonderland. As the little girl was growing up, her aspirations soared, and so did her imaginations of her wonderland. Like all little children, she loved the whole world. She was young, and her innocence saw love, beauty, and harmony everywhere. Gradually, as she began to understand the world around her, its people, their words and actions, she felt that this world, of which she was also a part, is very strange. The world that resided in her heart, where there was love, beauty, and togetherness, was completely different from the one she lived in. Her heart was pierced by a stroke of pain, a very deep blow. She became quieter compared to the other children. She contemplated, well, so is there no such place on this huge earth where we humans are not divided? Why can't there be such a place? And if it is not there, then we ought to create it. What would the world of Wonderland look like? Decorated with various kinds of flowers, trees, singing of colorful birds, reaching out to every direction. The river's flowing torrent, a few white buildings located in the middle of a mango orchard where people from all over the country and various parts of the world live in equality without any discrimination. How would the world of Wonderland be, where there is no discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, creed, where no one is judged or condemned on the basis of their shortcomings and limitations? Rather, where there is an environment of growth with many possibilities and marked by an inspiration of expansion of consciousness. The little girl embarked on a journey that even she was not aware of. Everything was happening in great silence. The story of this little girl's heart is how the wonderland that grew in her consciousness evolved and ultimately came true. This is her story. The wonderland grew in the child's heart, not in her mind, but her consciousness. There is a great difference between a world woven in the mind and a world formed in one's heart, the inner consciousness. Whatever is woven in the mind is full of human ambitions, basically, game of an ego. But the dream or the wonderland that develops in our inner consciousness does not contain the noise of ego. It grows in peace with the development of consciousness, and the transformation that takes place with the development of consciousness reaches every particle of the universe. And when that happens, when the power of imagination takes a long flight with high aspirations, somewhere far, far away in some corner of the earth, it communicates with the high aspirations of other souls, humans, without even the exchange of words. In the journey of the development of consciousness, someone else also becomes the medium for realizing the wonderland. That little girl's wonderland is a power that no government can control. There is such happiness in the wonderland that no earthly success can provide. There is an enlightenment that cannot be found in any scholar. There is a knowledge that no philosophy, no science can quantify. There is such a bliss whose taste cannot be experienced by fulfilling any desire. There is a peace that cannot be found anywhere else, not even in death. This power, happiness, light, knowledge, joy, love, and peace are the things that you can find in that little girl's wonderland, that is Aurovalley, if you live there peacefully. It was almost after 26 years of her life that the little girl had a direct meeting with her wonderland, Aurovalley, but she was not aware of it. It was during her higher studies. The little girl, who was now an adult, suddenly felt restless, as if the river Ganga was calling for her. Her whole being was shaken by a specific yearning and anguish. There was someone who was calling her with the same fervor, with great anguish. She shared about this restlessness and this calling with her teacher and asked for a few days off from university work. The teacher became the medium to introduce her to her wonderland. He suggested her to go to Aurovalley, located in Raiwala, a small village in the middle of Haridwar and Rishikesh. The Ganga flows uninterruptedly at the distance of 10 minutes from Aurovalley, and the forest of Rajaji Garden is spread over its banks. Both of these make the natural beauty of Aurovalley absolutely divine. On the suggestion of the teacher, the girl decided not to go to Banaras and reached Aurovalley. As soon as she reached the Raiwala railway gate, the peace within her calmed the whole world. The pain of separation, whose agony was unbearable till then, merged into great peace. By the time she reached Aurovalley, her entire being was reduced to zero, an eternal peace. It was afternoon. A beautiful lady dressed in white kurta pajama greeted and showed her the Savitri library, Om room, yoga hall, meditation hall in Aurovalley, along with the dining and living room. Once you go to Aurovalley, you can feel that power, that joy, that love, that peace which is beyond what words can describe. The story of how Aurovalley manifested in her consciousness, arising out of the little girl's aspiration, is subtle, a very subtle one that deals with the transformation of material life. When she was very young, at first she found that this world is full of misery, pain, fights, quarrels, artificiality, and wherever she saw that, instead of hating them, she began to find herself in those discrepancies. She asked herself, am I not in all of them? And then a prayer would emerge in her for herself that she should not be lost in all of that. She would repeat to herself, I have to be the one who converts all discrepancies into love. I want to be love, not anomaly. She found that it is easy to say good things. Everyone does. But they are not able to implement those things in their life. They don't really become what they say they want to be. She learned that whatever change we want from this world, the world we want has to be realized first in ourselves. She found a life sutra. To know is good. To live is better. To be that is perfect. At a very young age, she discovered that we all have something in our brain, something in our heart, something in our inner consciousness, something in our feelings, and something on our tongue. They are all not the same. She was being exposed to different forms of divisions within. She learned that this is what happens when we are divided on many levels of our being. When our whole being, body, mind, emotions, heart is all divided on different levels, it is not monolithic. There must be harmony between all the beings within ourselves. Only then will there be harmony and peace between the inner and the outer world that we know as the material world. Another art that she learned naturally from life is the art to recognize the root of any problem and see if its cause is present within. Since childhood, she used to find reasons for any fight, quarrel, riots, genocide, war, even natural calamities, all the events happening outside. She was too young to understand what was inside her that was causing all this to happen outside. She was restless. Sitting alone in silence, she would try to find the cause. As she grew older, she was able to see the vulnerabilities within her, which exist in every person, ultimately becoming large in a collective and finally becoming a cause of the whole world getting messed up. Whenever she saw such a squid, she would create such an environment in the wonderland, growing in her inner consciousness, where any such squid that divides could be transformed into a move towards oneness. In the same way, passing through many experiences in her witnessing spirit, that little girl got many life threads. Much later, during her studies and self study, she came to know that what she was understanding as the Life Sutra, derived from experience, is an important part of integral yoga. Integral yoga, as told by Mother and Sri Aurobindo. She learnt that many such subtle life experiences and the life sutras were step by step guides mentioned by the Mother in analysis of the integral yoga. While working on different fields, this little girl realized that any kind of change is possible only with a change of consciousness. And a change in the consciousness of others is not possible unless a change in one's own consciousness takes place. So, passing through such subtle processes of transformation, the wonderland of that little girl continued to grow, and she created such an environment in her consciousness where all the differences, be it religion, caste, gender, race, good, bad, country, yours, mine, can all be transformed into love, harmony, and beauty. You must come to meet this wonderland. This wonderland is not too far away from you. In these difficult political times, how long would this home of unity be able to save itself from all political influences? Even that little girl cannot tell. But yes, in her aspiration, in her inner consciousness, she will surely find this wonderland moving towards the highest consciousness, because her consciousness is established in every particle of Aurovalley, and the consciousness of Aurovalley is established in every particle of her being. The power of imagination is unparalleled. Friends, wonderlands like Aurovalley are not created out of a single child's aspiration. The selfless service and diligence of countless people's aspirations make the dream of Wonderland come true. Salute to Mother, who first envisaged such a dream. Salute to the founder of Aurovalley, Brahmadevji, and also to the aspirations of all those people who contributed directly or indirectly in the process of development of Aurovalley.